Yes, hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the Clarets Daily news here on Turfcast. Now, to be honest, there's not a lot out there today, but there was a very interesting development yesterday morning, and it actually came as I was uploading yesterday's video. So I was like, for God's sake, I'm going to miss that, but I can use it for today's video, and now I'm actually buzzing that I missed it, because it's the only thing really that we can talk about in today's video. But it was reported yesterday in Swedish newspaper Expressen, which I presume is Swedish for Express. I'm not fluent in Swedish. I'm barely fluent in English, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. But according to that particular newspaper, Henrik Jensen has left Kalmar FF, Swedish team, to become the new assistant at Burnley Football Club. Now, according to the newspaper, they say, now this has been translated via ChatGPT, so some of it may or may not be a little bit correct, a little bit incorrect. It may or may not make sense. It says, Henrik Jensen leaves Kalmar FF. According to information to the Expressen, the Dane is in the process of becoming a new assistant coach at Championship club Burnley, something that is expected to become official shortly. They go on to say, on Monday morning, the local newspaper Barometern reported that Henrik Jensen is leaving Kalmar FF as the Dane was missing from today's training session, which has instead been led by Stefan Larsson. Now, Expressen can tell you the reason for that. Inside the reports say Jensen is just details away from signing for Burnley in the Championship. And it goes on to say the parties must agree, and the only thing left to do is sign the contract. In Burnley, who fell out of the Premier League, cheers for that expression, Jensen is expected to become the new assistant coach if all goes well. The plan is for the club to make the whole thing public shortly on Monday morning, which is obviously when this report came out. Expressen tried to get in touch with Jensen's agent Martin Darlan for a comment, and he was unreachable. So it's bizarre that we now have an assistant, apparently, but yet we don't have a manager. But of course, this has come out from local press up in Kalmar, and then the Swedish nationals have picked it up. So that would suggest that it's true. I mean, unless there's been something lost in translation, I have no reason to think that this report is rubbish. The way I see it is, we must have sorted the manager. Like, we must have done. Like, the managers choose their assistants. You don't hire a new manager and say, by the way, we've hired an assistant for you, because they'd be like, what are you doing? Like, I want to bring my own guys in. Or they might say, I want to work with the guys you've already got there. Like, why would we bring in this assistant coach out of nowhere if the manager or the potential next manager has turned around and said, right, thanks for giving me the job, get me that guy as the assistant. Now, this sent, obviously, Twitter into a bit of a frenzy. A lot of people were looking at what it could mean and who that means the manager could be. And obviously, after looking at the markets, he had no links to Ruud van Nistelrooy, no links to Scott Parker, Frank Lampard, Liam Rosenior. But he was Bo Henriksen's assistant at some point in his career. Now, it's weird. Like, this is a perfect example of the stuff that I've been saying, and at the risk of repeating myself again, as I got accused of yesterday, this shows you exactly why the markets are so volatile, the next manager markets, and why they can't really be trusted. I say why they can't really be trusted on the fact that I mention them on every single video. I'm padding the video out to get more content to you. But Bo Henriksen yesterday, before this announcement, and even in the immediate aftermath of this announcement, was 100 to 1. 100 to 1 to be the next Burnley manager. And I said, like a million times, never really trust the markets. But around 3 weeks ago, before Vincent was announced leaving, they set the markets up already, because it looked like obviously we're off, right? So they set the markets up already. He was actually at around 10 to 1, and they drifted all the way out to 100 to 1. Because of the news yesterday, because of that report that I've just mentioned from the Expressen, and then a lot of Burnley fans picking up on the link, seeing that he was 100 to 1. Like, I personally myself, I put a fiver on him, because when I win bets, unless I win big, obviously, which is very rare, I leave the money in my betting account, right, to stop myself putting more money in the betting account, and I just play with that, and it's just, it's not fake money, obviously, but it feels like fake digital money, because it never really goes into the bank account. So anyway, I just stuck a fiver on him, because someone said he used to be the assistant, he's 100 to 1, even though I don't actually think he's going to be the manager. I thought it's 95% certain he's not going to be the manager, but just in case, there's a potential of 500 quid here from nothing, so I'll stick it on. And a lot of Burnley fans had the same idea. A lot of Burnley fans had the same idea. I saw several people tweeting saying he's 100 to 1. I've stuck a tenner on him. I've stuck a quid on him. I've stuck a fiver on him. And then all of a sudden, someone tweeted me saying, oh, this guy used to be Henriksen's assistant. Obviously didn't know that I'd already seen the link. And then he was like, it's 20 to 1. I might stick a tenner on him. I'm like, bloody hell, he were 100 to 1, like literally 20 minutes ago because I put a fiver on him. And then some guy then commented underneath that saying he's 6 to 1 now. And now, as I'm looking at the market in front of you, he's still around 6 to 1, just a little bit less. He's gone to 7 to 2 now. Quite a bit less, actually, but not a lot less. He didn't go odds on. I thought at some point he would go odds on, but he hasn't. Ruud van Nistelrooy is still odds-on favourite, by the way. He's out at 1 to 2. Then you've got Bo Henriksen at 7 to 2 and Henrik Rydstrom. Now, he's another one that I believe he may or may not have worked with before. The local press, I can't remember who it is, so I won't name them in case I get it wrong. But our local press did say that he was apparently the assistant to Rydstrom at some point. That's obviously Henrik Jensen was the assistant to Rydstrom at some point, but some Swedish people commenting on Twitter were saying, no, that's a load of rubbish, it never has been, they've never worked together. And they're two very different styles of coaches. So, yeah, it's bizarre. It's a bizarre one, that one. It's come out of nowhere, the fact that the Swedish paper have picked this up. But it tells me that the manager has to be sorted, right? Or maybe we're promoting... Now, I actually tweeted this yesterday. A lot of people say, absolute rubbish, that's no chance. It makes me sound like maybe we've got a position opening up as assistant because our assistant is about to become the manager. Obviously, Bellamy's been interviewed and he wants the job. So that might be why... I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud here, like more than anything. Like that. I say this is Clarets Daily News. Today is just basically me saying, look at this report. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just thinking out loud, but maybe, who knows, Bellamy's been given the job and we need a new assistant. So they've got out, chosen an assistant. Maybe Bellamy was like, I'm not bothered who it is. Just give me someone who's got a bit of experience. So yeah, a bizarre one, that one. Shout out to the Swedish newspaper for alerting us. It was then picked up, obviously, by the Burnley Express and stuff like that. So they have all reason to believe that this is true. It's just bizarre. Like, only Burnley Football Club could find themselves an assistant before, well, the news could get out about finding themselves an assistant before we've actually got ourselves a manager. So yeah, it's a weird one, that one. Not sure what to expect. Does that mean it's going to be Bo Henriksen? Does that mean it's going to be Henrik Rydstrom? Could something have been lost in translation and they mean Barnsley? Because that's happened before. Not to this extent, obviously. But yeah, very bizarre development yesterday morning, and I'm not particularly sure what it means. But according to Swedish newspaper Expressen, not Henrik Larsson, as I accidentally called him yesterday on Twitter. Got some stick for that as well. Henrik Jensen will be the new assistant manager at Burnley Football Club, which tells me we have a manager in place. It's just not been announced yet. That's it, unfortunately, for today's show. Not as long as usual, but I've managed to get it to 8 minutes, and that's the key number on YouTube. If you know, you know. But yeah, there's not much out there at the minute. Obviously, with Euro 2024 happening, a lot of the focus is on that. Come on, England. Apologies for all the Scottish and Welsh and Irish viewers, and obviously we get viewers from all over the world now, to be fair. Turfcast massive. But yeah, there's not much happening out there at the minute, and obviously all the players are on their summer breaks as well. I put a post up today. I see that Jordan Bayer's out in, where is it? Universal Studios in Hollywood. Josh Brownell's gone to a wedding. I don't know. They're just all out and about doing stuff. So not much is happening at the minute. I saw that Muric had gone back to Switzerland. So, yeah, not much happening at the minute. But let me know what you think in the comments below about this bizarre development with the assistant manager. Do you think it's legit? What do you make of it? Do you think that means a new manager's sorted? To me, that I personally believe it. The fact that it's been picked up by a local press in Sweden, then the national press, then our locals, then a lot of websites, not necessarily national newspapers in England, but a lot of the websites like your Football League Worlds and stuff like that. And that's pretty much what they base their model on, just picking up stuff. But it's been picked up, it's snowballed, it's everywhere now. So I've got no reason to believe it isn't true. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. And we'll be back tomorrow morning.